It clearly looks like altcoin season is over, but there is one token that's appreciating quite rapidly, and that is Doginme. Let's have a look at the on-chain metrics. Let's try to figure out what's behind this rally, and let's see whether or not it still makes sense to buy Doginme. Have a look at this. Here are the trending tokens on the base chain. So this is where Doginme is housed, and it's ordered by the liquidity pool size. Pretty much everything in the last 24 hours went down except Doginme. That's up 23%. Doginme is also the top performing meme token in the last 7 days, up more than 700%. The second best performer is KeyCat, and the news that drove both of those rallies is actually the same. Here they are, Doginme skyrockets after Coinbase listing. So both KeyCat and Doginme got listed on Coinbase. And whenever there is a comparatively small meme coin that then gets listed on a major exchange, that of course causes a price rally because of all the potential additional demand. Now we're currently at 0.12 cents. I published a video on Doginme not so long ago when we were still at 0.08 cents. So we are up roughly 50% since then. But that video actually did not perform well whatsoever. The average video is here in gray, and the Doginme performance is in blue. Nobody was interested in the token. This is now how the chart looks like. And yes, in the past, we saw quite a bit of a dump as well, almost 95%. A lot of that volatility likely also has something to do with the perpetual futures market. So the token cannot just be bought directly spot on the base chain, but there are actually levered bets on the price in the form of perpetual futures. When people enter those perpetual futures, that means that the centralized exchanges tend to also hedge themselves by buying spot as well. So here's the perp volume. Maxi allows betting on Doginme via derivatives as well. Now on chain, we've got more than 130,000 holders, but not all of those holders are created equal. That's a problem with statistics like this, right? If you only own 1 cent worth of the token in a wallet, let's say there are arbitrage bots that actively trade the token. There's only 1 cent of the token in a wallet, then that wallet is also counted in that statistic. But it also doesn't really tell us much, right? I think it's better to look at the number of wallets based on minimum holding threshold. And that is what we see over here. So to be counted for the wallet on this left chart, the minimum holding is 800,000 tokens. Now at the current price, that's worth roughly $1,000 worth of the token. We saw a very rapid accumulation up until the middle of April of 2024. And since then, not much growth. And with the recent Coinbase listing, we saw quite a bit of excitement by retail again. The middle of April, by the way, is over here. So we already started dumping while retail still bought into the token. For the chart in the middle, we got another 10x in minimum holding. So that's now 8 million tokens or $10,000 worth of the token. For the chart on the right, another 10x. So that's now 80 million or $100,000 worth of the token. The whales already finished their accumulation already in the middle of February of 2024. Small retail took roughly 1.5 months longer than that. Since then, the whales tend to dump, and the whales aren't really interested in the Coinbase listing either. So this is all just small retail buying into the hype. This rally is not supported by the big players. And that makes me question what's going to happen from here. If the smartest money is not buying in, and if the overall market tends to rather be bearish, I think it's better to also be on the cautious side. Besides the Coinbase listing, there's also a BitTrue listing. So that's why we're also up today. Again, both of Doginme and KeyCat. But yeah, just have a look at what happened with the altcoins as a whole. So this is now the cryptocurrency market cap, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. Since the 8th of December of 2024, it's going down by 30%. And since 1 year, the altcoins are underperforming Bitcoin by 45%. And again, since the middle of December, things aren't much better. So the trends are pretty clear. Does it actually make sense to try to hunt for the one altcoin that still performs well when the vast majority of tokens isn't doing that well? Because in the end, nobody is going to put the entire net worth in just a single asset or maybe in 2 assets and then benefit from a rally, right? Most people that buy altcoins, especially very risky meme coins, buy several of them 10, 20, maybe 30. And then we get closer and closer to the general market performance. Then even if Doginme is held in that portfolio, the overall portfolio is probably still down. And so really, I think there's only two options. Either we just quit, we do nothing, or we bet on falling prices. Clearly, the overall situation in crypto has changed recently, and there seems to be one event that started it all off. What we've got over here is the Bitcoin price, and this red circle marks when Donald Trump launched his meme coin. So that's this over here. Most people got burnt with that meme coin. If you bought this in the first few hours after launch, you made money. If you didn't, you lost money. Since the launch, Bitcoin lost 21% of its value. Of course, the Trump token lost much more. A lot of other altcoins also lost more. And so the majority of people lose, of course, when the market looks like this. There's pretty much nobody that has their entire crypto portfolio in Maker or in Bearer or in Bitcoin Cash. Even if you hold those tokens, you probably have a diversified portfolio and you're down with all of those other tokens. Now here's something that's not so obvious. We see Bitcoin over here. Bitcoin went up by 14% in the last year. And this is now the top 100 ordered by their performance in the last year. And there are a few altcoins that did better than Bitcoin. Two of them being gold derivatives, so PaxG and Tether Gold. But there's also others that performed slightly better. But the vast majority of altcoins actually performed much, much worse. If you picked a random altcoin in the top 100 1 year ago, you've got roughly an 80% chance that you underperformed simply Bitcoin. And that's of course a problem, right? Because altcoins have more risk, and so in theory, they should also perform better, especially during times when Bitcoin tends to go up. And so I don't try to find the needle in the haystack. I don't try to pick the bearer coin in order to then make money. I do the exact opposite. I bet on the vast majority of altcoins doing worse than Bitcoin. And most of the time, that strategy makes money. Have a look at this, for example. This is Matic relative to Bitcoin, a very constant underperformance. Or this is Balancer relative to Bitcoin. Again, a very constant underperformance. And we can make money from that relative valuation. We don't have to bet on Balancer or on Matic going down versus the US dollar. We can bet on it doing worse than Bitcoin and make money when this thing continues to go down. Or we can also mirror that chart, right? We can just bet on this continue to go up. This is now Bitcoin relative to Matic. That's the logarithmic chart. This is the linear chart. So why does this happen? The reason is tokenomics, right? It's the altcoins that print more and more tokens, and that token allocation goes to the insiders, it goes to the developers. And for meme coins, we don't necessarily have an expanding supply, but for meme coins, we tend to have a lot of ownership by the insiders as well that simply sell off over time. And that's why Bitcoin performs so well versus all of those altcoins. And that's why I believe those are the kinds of charts we want to bet on. Yes, we can of course try to time Bitcoin itself, and we can try to buy this at 16K and then sell it at 100K. And this is a possible way to make money. I'm also trying to time Bitcoin. But why would we try to pick the few altcoins that perform still okay? Why not just flip this thing around and make money when those bubbles are red? So for example, over here on the 6th of December, I have made a premium update video how I have sold some of my Bitcoin because a liquidity crunch was incoming. So that was over here. I've made another announcement on the 25th of February how I've sold all of my speculative Bitcoin and how I'm selling all of my altcoin positions. And that was over here. I opened a position betting on falling prices of Chainlink on the 23rd of January. I opened a short position on Dogecoin and on PancakeSwap on the 14th of February. And the reason why I'm sharing this is because I've now closed the Chainlink position, so it lost 42% in the span of a few weeks. I've also closed the Cake short, which went down versus BNB by 27%. And I've also closed the Dogecoin short, also in profit. So really, when you know what you're doing, if you know how to do the proper risk management, that you don't get liquidated, and when you have the odds in your favor during times like this, when most altcoins underperform Bitcoin, then it is rather straightforward to make money like this. We don't have to find the needle in the haystack. We don't have to make 100x returns with a random meme coin. We can simply just let our capital compound by making 20% here and 40% over here. Most people are scared of betting on falling prices. But that's why I've made dedicated tutorial videos on the topic, how to do the proper risk management, how to set up those positions also in DeFi and Web3, not just with centralized exchanges, how to do this cost efficiently, and also how to select the right assets to short. There's more than 100 tutorial videos in total in premium. The link is down below. It's thebitcoinstrategy.com. Of course, I'm also sharing in detail how I currently see the market. There's a premium update video every 3 to 4 days. And I challenge you to look at other influencers, what they said during those times, right? Have a look at the date, have a look at the title of those different premium update videos, and let me know who said already on February 18th that it might make sense to bet on falling prices, or that crypto stopped expanding in the last 2 to 3 weeks, or how your influencer is selling aggressively. I don't really see many other influencers saying it like it is. Most YouTube channels just sell hopium. Most YouTube channels just want to push up their own bags, but they're not really looking realistically at the prices. They're not really looking at how much are people actually already in profit and when will that profit be taken. So if you appreciate during times like this that I keep it real, then of course feel free to give this video a like. Feel free to also subscribe. I publish videos regularly, and of course feel free to also check out premium. The link is down below. Looking very much forward to seeing you there as well. Cheers.